Which websites, blogs or Twitterers do you feel made A, the biggest, and B, the most valuable contribution to the election debate?
I think it's a very difficult question to answer because a problem in a way for all sites, blogs or other internet coverage of the election is that there's still not a reliable way of judging or assessing how much difference any of them actually made to what counts, which is how people voted. And until there's some way of trying to get a better idea of that, it's very hard to see what sites or blogs genuinely affected how people voted. But having said that, I think what was noticeable about this election is the way there were just so many websites and blogs which in many ways just contributed to how people already felt or reinforced what they're already going to do. Having said that, apart from Hustings, obviously, the one site I thought was absolutely fantastic was yournextmp.com, a completely free, crowdsourced site, which I think made a real difference in allowing voters to just find out information about their particular candidates.
I think if you look at Twitter, the biggest contribution that was made in many ways was made by political journalists from traditional media outlets who took to Twitter and used Twitter in a really interactive way to find out about stories, follow up on stories, respond to people who had queries about what they'd written and whether it was accurate and so on. Good example of that would be the Evening Standard's Paul Waugh, who I think has really taken to Twitter, and you can see from his blogging and his tweets that there is something extra to the political coverage that he writes, that he gets out of being an active participant in that online community. In terms of if you look beyond the traditional journalists, in terms of other people making an impact, I would single out probably Anthony Wells and his UK Polling Report blog, because he has become the essential place that people go to get information about opinion polls. And not only as a source of information, but also a source of expert commentary. And there are very, very few political journalists now who are able to write more knowledgeably about opinion polls than Anthony Wells. To their credit, a lot of journalists know that and therefore go to Anthony's site to find out the information.
I think traditionally the conservative bloggers and Twitterers were those people who dominated the online space in order to affect the 24-hour news cycle. And they were very good at being big bloggers and big Twitterers because they were trying to communicate. I think what happened in this general election is that some of that really changed and blogging and tweeting and online activity became more about organising and less about communication. So I think in terms of some of the smarter activity that was done, I would say that actually it was the Labour Party and Labour activists who did that, and they were probably more valuable in terms of helping specific seats in the election campaign than the traditional communications aspects of it.